Greetings, hello ladies and gentlemen, and another year of the Spinosaurus is upon us. If you guys caught my community post, you know I was very excited for this figure that we have sitting in front of us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new for 2020, almost 2021, PNSO Essien the Spinosaurus. That's right, we have a new updated Essien, and I can't begin to express my love for this little figure, but I guess the first thing I want to talk about, which is the hottest subject of debate for this model, is... I can fit you in here. Oh dear. Yeah, you can just see by... by that it is a substantially smaller figure than the original Essien the Spinosaurus that was released in 2019? Maybe? I need to check on that. I don't think it was 2018, it had to be 2019. But here's the thing. I saw this new Spinosaurus. I thought it was going to be a larger figure just for the presentation and the quality that it had in the images that I saw. And I am disappointed that it's not in a similar size range as the original Essien the Spinosaurus here. But I have to say, I am thoroughly impressed by the amount of detail that they managed to capture in this smaller figure. And the only thing that I really want to, because I think everything is self-explanatory as to what was updated with this new Spinosaurus here, but the only thing I want to bring attention to, because it's kind of a meme, is that this new Essien does not have a opposable thumb that's halfway up its arm, which is a good step in the right direction, PNSO. I don't know what they were thinking when they were making this one. But anyway, let's move this one out of the way because it's just too large to be here. And let's focus on the new PNSO Spinosaurus. All right, now where to begin with talking about this one besides the size of it? All right, well, first of all, the pose. The pose was another sort of, popular topic when it came to bringing this figure up. Many people don't care for the pose, mainly because it's bearing weight on its hands. It's a knuckle walker, and just on its right hand, it's sort of leaning to the side. It's seen something over here and is shocked, and it's shifting all its weight to the right side of its body and bracing itself with that knuckle. Now, I am on the anti-knuckle walking Spinosaurus side. I don't think that an animal of this size would have used its hands to support its weight. I just think it's impractical for its arms, but as a display piece, I just think this looks really cool for a pose. I just love how it's bracing itself, and another thing that I think helps it, which is another thing people don't like, are the size of the claws on the hands. I can understand why people wouldn't like these. The first two claws on each of the hands are really long and almost Therizinosaur-like, but I just think they look really cool for a Spinosaurus, and I think they look especially cool on that hand that's bracing the animal back there. And I guess while we're talking about the hands, let's talk about the feet. One thing that was brought to my attention, which I actually wasn't aware of on Spinosaurus, was that the fourth toe, which originally should be the dew claw and some other theropods, should be weight-bearing. And it is indeed weight-bearing on this figure. I think it could be a little more obvious, perhaps, but you can see, especially on this foot, that it is coming into contact with the ground and helping with supporting the animal. And just while we're down here, we're going to move into detail anyway. Just look at the detail on this thing. It's beyond incredible. It's more than I could have hoped for with the replicated versions of this figure. This is some of the best detailing I've seen on a dinosaur figure of this size in ages. It absolutely surpasses Papo in my opinion. Just the different sizes of scales and scoots running throughout. They didn't skip out on anything with the detailing here, and it just looks absolutely amazing. I mean, just look at those huge scales running down the base of the tail there. That looks amazing. Also, new Spinosaurus tail. Looks great, and I especially like looking at the dorsal view here, or from underneath, just showing how thick and powerful that tail was. And that's just the thing with this model in general. It has a very meaty look to it, for lack of a better word. It's quite plumped up in some areas, especially in the neck and at the tail and at the midsection as well. It just gives it a very natural look. Like, it looks like this thing just popped out of a piece of paleo art or something. It looks amazing. And one area that I forgot to show off is the sail detail-wise. I love the larger scales running up each of the vertebrae. looks amazing. And one thing that is so cool about this, and I think I'm going to have to put a picture in post to show this off properly, but if you put this figure up to a strong light source, this sail is actually molded in a semi-transparent plastic, and it doesn't actually look like it, but under harsh light, the light actually shines right through it, which just looks so cool, and I can't wait to take some proper pictures of this one in the sun or set up something with my desk lights or whatever. But just leaving that really cool aspect out of it, just the detail alone on the sail looks amazing. And I mean, I feel like I don't know what else to say. I feel like I should just be quiet and show you different angles of everything and let you soak all the detail in, because it's also self-explanatory. But anyway, enough about that. Let's take a look at the head sculpt, which is something that a lot of people tend to get wrong with Spinosaurus figures. And it's sort of hard to get a good angle on it because of the unique pose that this one has, but you can see that it captures the likeness of Spinosaurus absolutely wonderfully there. Wonderful pronounced notch towards the front of the upper jaw there. The conical teeth are done in a white color and they look great. I love the crest in that red color, really contrasts nicely with the rest of the naturalistic color scheme. The eyes are in a yellow color, and the little black stripes sort of coming down and meeting up on the bottom jaw from the top just adds a lot to the face, in my opinion. I think it looks really nice. And yes, this one does have an articulated jaw. It works so smooth and wonderfully, and it looks beautiful as well. I mean, just look at that. You can't even tell that the jaw is movable on this figure. My one complaint with the jaw, though, is that the fleshy corner bits in the corner of the mouth have different colors between the top and bottom jaw. There's a little bit more of a lavender color to the flesh on the bottom jaw piece than there is on the upper jaw. The upper jaw is mainly just a pink color. But even on the interior of the mouth, there are some wonderful details in there, if you can see. PNSO really just did not skimp out in the detailing department. And the articulated jaw here is definitely much more sturdy and just feels more comfortable to use than on their previous version of Essien, the larger museum quality statue piece. And I didn't really properly talk about coloration on this one, but I love the colors. I just feel like they're so natural, but also so vibrant in some areas. Like the hints of the Spanish oranges and yellows brought into the sail is really nice. There's some highlights around some of the other markings across the body. It's a very reptilian color scheme, and it works so well. And I'm finding that the latest PNSO models really do a great job of capturing naturalism with colors, but just giving you a little flair, a little hint of vibrancy in there to really break it up and make it feel unique. And I think that's just what they did with this Spinosaurus. And one thing that I did forget to show off is the box that this Spinosaurus comes with. If we just pan up here, the box is really large, but the figure is very secured in there, and I don't think you have anything to worry about as far as warping or anything. It comes with a very nice plastic tray on the inside, and it even comes with a little, like, pamphlet, collector's pamphlet. If I open it up, I will show you right here. And half of it is in Chinese, but on this side, if my light doesn't drown it out completely, there is a bunch of stuff in English. There's stuff about the artist, stuff about Spinosaurus as well, so you can pause the video if you want to read that, if you can see it. But it is cool. They really put a lot of thought into presenting their models, and PNSO always has done that, so I think that's awesome. But let's leave the box in the back for the rest of the review, why don't we? It just looks really cool with it. And one thing that I forgot to mention is if you do end up picking up this Spinosaurus figure, mine had this issue, and the claws on this hand were not warped enough, and it was actually making it look like the back half of this animal with the legs was floating in midair with the tail touching the ground. But don't worry, if you just leave this one set on your shelf, then those claws will warp just enough to where the feet will make contact with the ground, and it will look plenty natural. So don't panic if you think yours is warped, because it will take care of itself over time. But I really think that covers my thoughts on the new PNSO Essien the Spinosaurus. Overall, sculpt-wise, a massive improvement over the previous version of Essien, but I have to say, it is a disappointment for me still that it is such a small figure, because this is Spinosaurus. Like, this is the latest consensus of what Spinosaurus looks like. It looks beautiful. Of course, besides the claws still, the claws are a little exaggerated with their length, but I think they look cool. But I still think there is some worth for the old Essien as well, because it is still such a stunning display piece and has wonderful details, and this one is more of a regular figurine. But as much as I hate saying this, PNSO, if you make one of these at a larger scale like Essien, I will buy it. I feel like I'm just getting way too many Spinosaurus lately, but I would get it. This thing looks amazing. Anyway, for a quick precise measurement, in case you're wondering just how big this one is, it is 9 inches long, which is about 23 centimeters, and at its highest point, which is the top of the sail, it is about 3 inches, which is about 10 centimeters. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this review of the new, for 2020, Essien the Spinosaurus from PNSO. This is my new favorite Spinosaurus at the moment. I love it, and for any Spino fans out there, I highly recommend it. I got mine off of Amazon.com, so I will put a link for that down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments, and I'll catch you all in my next video. So take care, and bye-bye.